Hi, I'm Nick Benesch, the CEO of the Board Director Training Institute of Japan, BDTI for short. If you invest in the Japanese stock market, you'll be interested in what I have to say. For 25 years, I've been a tireless advocate for the improvement of corporate governance and sustainability in Japan, sitting on government committees, championing the cause of director training, and writing countless articles and policy proposals, including a white paper that led to Abenomics, the concept of a growth strategy for Japan based on increasing productivity. In 2013, I proposed that Japan adopt a corporate governance code. When I spoke to the legislators, I insisted that Japan's code required disclosure of all governance practices used by each Japanese firm. Without that information, the stewardship code then being discussed would never function, since investors like you would have little to analyze. I made this point on the very first page of my presentation to leaders of the ruling party who were formulating the growth strategy. As a result of these and other policy changes that followed, there is now a huge amount of new disclosure about ESG-related policies, and especially about governance structures and practices, yes, even director training at Japanese public companies. But for the past 5 years, this new disclosure has not been available to most foreign investors, because only about 260 out of the 2,000 companies on the first section of the Tokyo Stock Exchange produce corporate governance reports in English, and virtually no companies produce English versions of their annual Yuho financial report, the equivalent of a 10K in the US. Foreign investors own close to 30% of the Japanese stock market, but they are not benefiting from direct access to the most important source materials? And this is happening in the age of big data? It's hard to believe. Well, as the head of BDTI, which is a special kind of public interest nonprofit certified by the Japanese government to focus on board training and analysis about governance, I want the market to have easy access to this data, and I don't give up easily. So, after years of work using AI techniques, BDTI has solved these problems for you by creating an easy-to-use data platform called GoToData. The platform covers all exchange-traded Japanese companies, not just the top 500 firms, but some 3,700, and allows you to conveniently benefit from all the new disclosure which is causing certain companies to allocate capital efficiently and outperform in the marketplace. GoToData can help you find those companies and analyze them, and stay away from the others. How have you made this possible? First, with GoToData, you can jump directly to any section you need in a Japanese source document, for instance, a Yuho financial statement or a corporate governance report, by selecting from a convenient English drop-down menu. You know what is in the document from this menu. You didn't know that before. Next, you can right-click and use your browser to immediately machine translate that section's text and tables into English. Then you can cut and paste the text or tables to Excel or other software so as to collect them and compare between firms. It may be hard to imagine how simple we can make access to all this information, most of which is not available anywhere else in English. So I'd like to show you a few more examples. Want to see the directors for ABC Company and their backgrounds? Want to view the entire financial notes section in English and drill down deeper on specific items like impairment losses, pension and retirement liabilities, related party transactions, or deferred taxes? You can do that too. We also offer full text sections of corporate governance reports and the reports on voting results at the AGM so that you can really understand companies far beyond the facade of their glitzy IR materials. For instance, here are the principles of the Corporate Governance Code that Tamahome does not comply with, and their explanation about why they do not comply. But there is much more that you can do. GoToData makes it super easy to view the summary governance-related data and their trends over the past 5 years for each and every listed company. You can also compare the governance improvement trend of any company with the overall market or with benchmark subgroups that you create yourself. and we have key data points that other data providers do not have, such as Allegiant and cross-shareholding totals, the ratio of those holdings to the total assets, the number of female directors, full voting stats from shareholder meetings, and the percent of voting participation at the AGM. And in the future, we plan to provide much more. Even now, you can drill down on each director and see how independent they really are, and the company's stated reasons for selecting them. If you filter information by industry, you can compare companies to their peers and find companies that are improving beyond expectations. Not only that, but you can screen for new companies to add to your portfolio using our screening tool, which is based on key governance practices, company actions, board composition criteria, and voting data. GoToData is the realization of my dream in 2013 that governance practice black boxes needed to be opened up and made transparent. And if we can do that, stewardship in Japan will produce a significant virtuous circle. And if you use GoToData, you will also be supporting good governance in Japan, since half of any profits from data activities like this must be reinvested in our nonprofit activities, such as director training, which is sorely needed in Japan. You can be socially responsible as an investor while at the same time improving the market you're investing in. Contact us now for more information and for options on how you can demo GoToData. And then go right to the data you need. And don't forget, to help us improve corporate governance in Japan, please share this video with others. Thank you in advance.